Hello, my small wonders. Are you ready for a story? I'm Tracy, and I have a classic book for you today. This one is called The Princess and the Pea by Miles Kelly, illustrated by Charlotte Cooke. Shall we begin? The Princess and the Pea. Ooh, she looks very tired, doesn't she? Once upon a time, there was a handsome prince. He had everything he could wish for, but was quite lonely. His parents, the king and queen, said that it might be time for him to look for a bride. The prince thought this was a good idea, so he started his search for the perfect princess. I wonder how he's going to find his princess. Let's find out, shall we? He held parties all over the kingdom, where he met plenty of perfectly pleasant girls who said they were princesses. He also met some unpleasant princesses. None, it seemed to him, were quite right. But he carried on looking. Oh, the prince doesn't look very happy, does he? The prince traveled to faraway lands where royal families presented a host of suitable young ladies. But there was always something not quite right, such as too many pets. Look, she's got 2 cats, and it looks like he's allergic. Or terrible table manners. Oh, look at this princess. She's got food coming out of her mouth and she's spilling her wine. Nowhere could he find a princess who lived up to his high standards. So the prince returned to his palace, where he sat reading dusty books and getting very glum. That means he was sad. One wintry night, there was the most terrible storm. The prince huddled close to the fire. Just as everyone was going to bed, there was a loud knocking at the door. The king, queen, and prince went to see who it was. There, absolutely dripping wet and covered in mud, stood a girl. No one could have looked less like a princess, but that is exactly what the girl claimed to be. So the girl said she was a princess, but does she look like a princess to you? Everyone thought it was very unlikely that the girl was a princess, but they invited her in and told her to take a seat by the fire. The girl sat sipping a mug of warm milk and slowly dried off. She looks terrible, doesn't she? As the girl grew warmer, the prince noticed how rosy her cheeks were and how pretty her laugh. How do you think she sounded when she laughed? I bet she didn't sound like I can imagine it sounded more like or something cute like that. What do you think? The queen noticed the attention her son was paying to this mysterious girl, and she decided to test whether or not she really was a princess. Let's see what the queen decides to do. The queen went to the finest spare bedroom and gave orders to the maids. She told them to take all of the bedclothes and the mattress off the bed. Then she placed one single pea on the middle of the bedstead. How interesting! Next, the maids piled dozens of mattresses, sheets, feather quilts, and warm blankets on top of the pea. Then the girl was shown to her room and left alone for the night. She looks a little worried, doesn't she? Look at that tall ladder leading up to the top of the bed. In the morning, the queen swept into the bedroom and asked the girl, "How did you sleep, your highness?"
"I didn't sleep a wink all night," she replied. "There was a great hard lump in the middle of the bed.
It was quite dreadful. I am sure I am black and blue all over. So it seems like the girl didn't sleep very well at all, and she even thinks she has bruises on her back. The queen was delighted. This meant that the girl really was a princess, for only a true princess could be as sensitive as that. She is a princess after all! The prince proposed to the princess at once, and they lived happily ever after. Look how happy the prince looks, and they look wonderful together, don't they? The pea was placed in the Royal Museum, where it probably still is today. There's the pea. That was an interesting test to check if she was a princess, wasn't it? Well, it seems like it was love at first sight for the prince. Have you ever experienced love at first sight? That means when you see or meet someone for the first time and you feel a strong connection to them. Maybe it feels like you've known them a long time. And it doesn't have to be a person. It could also be an animal or a place that you visit. I'm a hopeless romantic, so I love to believe in love at first sight. I hope this week you get to experience some kind of love at first sight, my small wonders, even if it's just with a piece of cake. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you for our next story. Bye-bye.